psychology, when we're talking about fashion design, there's this idea called design thinking, which is just like a psychological approach to designing. And one big part of design thinking is being solution focused when you are creating something. So a lot of the times I think when designers create, it's all about, oh, what's trending and like maybe what will sell and like what they personally like. But what I love with both of you guys is that you've actually taken a problem and which is the climate crisis and like overconsumption and waste and people being disconnected with your clothes, and you're thinking, okay, how can we correct this in a way that's still cute and fun? And I think that's just amazing. And I want you to tell us a bit more, is it, about your workshops too. So you have your sip and sews, like how do they come about, and like what do people tell you about them after they've completed it as well?
It was quite organic. I think the first one I ever did, I don't know if you guys know Kalechi. They're like a creative agency. Yeah. So they reached out and they were like, oh, do you want to do this workshop in the Tate, Britain? And I was like, yeah. So I was like, yeah, of course. So obviously they'd seen my work. I've been following each other. I've been to like quite a few of their events and support them. So I was like, yeah, of course, I want to do that. And I just kind of took the leap and was like, yeah, let me try this out, see what it brings. So it was my first ever workshop and it went amazingly. I think I never saw myself as a teacher, but I knew that I wanted to have, again, like Lydia, how you said, like I wanted to have a teaching aspect to my brand, but I didn't know how I was going to like execute that. And like not just sell clothes, but actually teach people how they could actually sew and upcycle their own stuff themselves. So it went from there. And then I think I got a few more gigs throughout the year. And then, it just kind of kept happening organically. And then I started like running the Sip and Sew specifically. So working with Wolf and Badger when I got stocked with them online. And those were obviously amazing as well. So again, it had that more social aspect to it. And people actually really wanted to like make friends as well at these events. So I thought it was a nice way to make it more sociable, still fun, and still had that, sustainability and upcycling aspect to it. So it kind of tied all those elements together, and people love them.
Oh, that's great. And Lydia, did you ever see yourself as a teacher as well? Because you guys both are, you're teachers, right?
No. I knew I wanted to do, like, same as Rosette, like I knew I wanted to do that, like, skill sharing. I'm not sure I'm naturally like a teacher. Like my mum was a teacher, so she's really good at teaching.
It's in the DNA.
No, it's not.
It's like, nah.
A really good example of someone who is a really good teacher. Like my mum is so good at explaining things, and like she taught me how to sew. Like she's really good, and I can see myself, and I'm like, I'm not sure, like teaching. I'm now good, I guess, because I've done a lot of it.
I mean,
it wasn't my natural skill set. But I like chatting, so I'm good at that aspect. I let people have a good time because I like to chat to them. But sometimes I hear myself explain something and I'm like,
like, is that pretty explainable? I'm not too sure. But yeah, you guys are smashing it with these workshops and these courses. But I want to talk about the collabs. Like, you guys are the queen of collabs. Lydia, I'll start with you first. I'm seeing Lidl logos, I'm seeing Nike logos. Like, tell us about these collabs. I really think people like to know how they came about and what the process of it was like. Just tell us a bit more if you can. Whatever you can tell us.
So they do also come about quite organically, and Rosette is probably the same as you. They come about from just like consistently putting out work and people just seeing what you do, and then like when it's the right time for them, they kind of get in contact. That's kind of my experience with a lot of them. And so when I work with brands, it's always reusing secondhand textiles. Like that's like the main the only way that we work together. So sometimes maybe brands have got in contact, but it's not really been so much about that. So then we haven't worked together. So it's always focused on reusing either dead stock. So like when I did workshops with Nike, we were reusing defected like tracksuits and stuff. So like patchworking all the tracksuits together to make like frilly cushions, or also it was defected football jerseys. And then so I've done quite a few, and they're really fun to do, and they kind of also give me like different creative license within my work, because I don't need to think about the products being sold in the same way. So if it's a workshop, we can make something more creative. Or like with Lidl, I did these 3 upcycled Christmas jumpers Yeah, to
That
celebrate
photo
their
shoot, it was
marriage.
giving like high fashion. Like it
Yeah,
was
I
so
even saw the
exactly.
TikTok
So I
ads
could
was so
really
good as
like
well.
get
yeah.
way more creative with it, and then
Hmm.
not need to think so much about the end buyer because they're just being rented.
Yes.
So they could be like way more fun.
Okay. Yeah. So did they give you free like creative license? Did you get to pick the materials you were going to use? Like, how did it work?
Yeah, pretty much. So they did have they wanted it to be inspired by three Christmas icons.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, they kind of had like a brief like that, and they also wanted them to be in the brand colours, so one blue, one yellow, one red.
Hmm.
But that was about it, and then everything else is just, I could kind of do whatever I wanted, which is so fun, and I feel like quite a rare project really to work on, where you can just like be as creative as you want.
Yes.
And the main thing was just like doing it within the time frame was kind of, yeah,
Oh,
the
how long
main.
did they give you to make them?
I think I had about 2.5 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
But with this, it's meant the sourcing adds so much time. Kind of,
Mm.
I go to loads of charity shops, but then that's like kind of potluck of what you're going to find. And because I
Ah,
knew I needed specific colors, it then makes it, you've got like a bit more of a filter. So
yeah.
then I was just like searching for so long for like a yellow jumper. And I was like,
Mhm.
there must be a yellow jumper in some charity shop in London. So that adds a lot of time.
Yeah.
And then also, if I buy stuff from like secondhand online marketplaces, that also then have like a week's delivery. So that kind of slows the process down.
Yeah, I think that's something that I've heard people who say, oh, they don't want to go to the charity shops or online, is not knowing like exactly what you're going to get. But then I tell them at the
Yeah.
same time, like if you're like super intentional, it's almost like a bit like a treasure hunt, because when you do find it, that euphoria, like that feeling that you put in the work and you've gotten a reward, it's going to like feel much better than just grabbing something that, an algorithm or the website just told you to get. Like it's something definitely worth considering, and I know you must have
Yeah.
experienced that when you got your hands
Yeah.
on your pieces.
I did, because then I was going to meet my friend, and then I thought I'll just go a bit early and like look in Dalston, and then I saw it and I was like, yes, this is perfect. This is so exactly, you get so excited when you find it.
Yeah.
And then also just from like the personal shopping point of view in charity shops, when you find something which you love, it is so special, and you really keep it for such a long time, and you know that, like you said, the treasure hunt of it.
Yes.